It's really more important, I would say, than the technical understanding of the art of photography and lighting, is to have that communication with the director of photography. If you're working with someone you've never worked with before, spend a lot of time with that person, looking at films and saying what you like and what you see and what's important, and ask the director of photography, how do I do that? How will we do that? How will we get that sort of highly directional, soft cross light coming in through the window? How can we get that? How can we get that richness of tone based on your experience? How have you done that in the past? And what will that involve for me technically during the shooting day? And if I want to change my angle, let's say I'm going to go outside the window and the person comes to the window, how does that not suddenly look very flat? Because I've got the lights right behind me at that point. Well, how will we cheat that? How will we manage window reflections? How will we shoot in cars? How will we do all these things? So get that dialogue going as early as possible. When I made Terminator, I hired Adam Greenberg, and I sat down with him and we watched two films together. One was Blade Runner and one was The Road Warrior, so Mad Max 2. And we watched both those films. And I said, I want both of those films put into a blender. And he said, but they're completely different. I said, exactly. How do we create a common ground between those two films? The kinetic, moving camera, wide lenses, hauling ass before and following cars, very dynamic, but at the same time, that moody, sort of almost noir, film noir quality, German expressionistic quality, strong shadows, deep blacks, hard edge lights, where you need very precise lighting control to get that effect. I said, we need to figure out how to do that. And we talked about it a lot. And then we even went out and drove around town with a light meter to find out what streets were bright enough that we could shoot essentially natural light at night, or available light at night, because we wouldn't have to bring in condors and lights and things that we couldn't afford. So we just found mercury vapor lights on streets that were brighter. And a good tip there is car lots, used car lots or new car lots. They always have bright lights. In every city, there's a row of like car dealerships. Just shoot on that street because everything's all lit up and you won't need any additional lights. Of course, these days the cameras are much more sensitive, but we were shooting on negative at the time. So we had to find a way to shoot without a lot of lights. And Adam said, we're going to be shooting wide open. We'll be shooting at f1.4 on prime lenses. So, I had schooled myself on the nature of lenses and photography enough by that point to understand